back, everybody. My name is Brad Brewer, and I guess it's a good day for Eagles fans. And you are, of course, listening to the Eagles Nest podcast, brought to you by Eagle Homes Team. And we're, of course, powered by Coldwell Banker Realty. As always, I am, of course, Brad Brewer. I am the co-host of this show.
And I'm Vincent Devall, his better looking half.
It's arguable, but probably true. Whatever. I don't really care. So, Vince, well, it was an interesting night from different perspectives. Super Bowl 59 is officially in the books. Philadelphia Eagles are champions.
Yeah, I mean, what a performance by the Eagles.
Not gonna lie, not happy about it. I'll say why at some point. It's just nothing to do with the Eagles. Love some of their players. Really like Jalen Hurts, things like that.
Yeah, so obviously Eagles took down Kansas City 40-22. I truly think the game could have been a little like they gave up a couple good plays at the end towards the end of the game that just gave those Chiefs fans a little bit of hope. But the Eagles dominated every part of the game. And there's just a little drama at the beginning with some flags being thrown, but
I gotta, well, anyway, if you haven't figured it out, today we're gonna recap the game, which shouldn't take long. We're gonna talk about, of course, some of the fun stuff that people like externally outside the game, commercials. There are about five top commercials that kind of stood out. And this is not just us.
I have my favorite.
I have my favorite too. My favorite is in the top 5, but I did a online, like basically America poll, like some of the favorites. And then some of the external stuff outside the game as well, stands, the New Orleans, stuff like that was going on before, after, and during the game. And then that's pretty much it. So
jump in.
I guess we'll start with the game. So I guess before I talk about what's on my screen here, I will say I hate Philadelphia, and this is
a strong word.
He did not watch. And here's why.
He didn't watch a Snoop Dogg commercial.
And please reach out to any of the Philadelphia Eagles fans that you can. You have the worst fan base in the country. This is not my words. This is like everybody knows this. You are notorious for when people come into Philadelphia screaming at their fans, saying nasty things to their fans, sometimes physical altercation. You have what people are thinking are the worst fan base in the country. And that's too bad. You're Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Our country was founded in Philadelphia. I mean, come on now. So fans, Philadelphia, make me like you, please. Because I love your players. Love Saquon Barkley. Super happy that he got a Super Bowl victory. Great year. Jalen Hurts, good dude. Overcomes so much stuff. Things like that. So anyway, about the game. First half. Well, 24-0 was the final score. I'll tell you, my wife took a nap towards the end of the first half through halftime.
Well,
into the third quarter, because I think she was like, what the heck is going on here? But I tell you what, if you were a diehard, or if you're just an Eagles fan, you were really enjoying it. And I think if you're a Chiefs fan, you want to put your head in the pillow.
Yeah, the defense was relentless. I mean, holy cow, they shut down Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs offense, right from the start, they had him scrambling. They had him, unsure of what the pocket was going to do. And man, Jalen Hurts, he put on a show. Poised, collected, precise. He had total command of that offense from the start all the way to the end. And getting towards that, I thought it was cool. They brought in the backup quarterback for the last 2.5 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Even though I had some side bets that I needed some of the players to get a few more yards, but whatever.
Whatever. I was with the group and they were kind of talking the same thing. Oh, I need some more points.
Yeah.
That's what you get for gambling, ladies and gentlemen. On the game itself, Jalen Hurts, stellar performance, obviously. I think his O-line did a pretty good job. But honestly, I'll give a shout out. Kansas City, I thought the Eagles defense won the game.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, because Kansas City's defense actually had a good, there was, whatever it was, 40 points or whatever. But you had a pick six. Actually, I thought, honestly, Patrick Mahomes had just as many key passes to the Eagles as Jalen Hurts did. So, just a little side funny note. But no, I thought it was pretty interesting that, I don't know, like I said, I think it was very defensive. I thought it was unfortunate that there were a couple of bad calls. I actually called the first pass interference on the Eagles, the offensive one.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it live. The replay made it questionable.
Right.
Now, on the other end of it, that late hit or whatever, the personal foul against the Chiefs, that didn't look like it live. That didn't look like it on the replay. That was a bad call. So
That was their make call.
yeah, and there was it was a bad makeup call because that I think that was part of the first 7 points.
Yeah.
So there's things that they're like football. Football's very momentum driven.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I thought that there's a couple plays there. Like I'm thinking like halftime you're 24-0. I thought halftime could have been about 10-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and give credit to the Chiefs for attempting to come back in the second half. Mahomes did some Mahomes things, but just wasn't enough. Players couldn't get open for him. He scrambled, try extended plays, but the Eagles defense, they clamped down when it mattered most. They were a championship team. I mean, they're the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL this year. So I wouldn't expect anything less. And it was really surprising that they were able to get so much pressure on Mahomes with just the front 4.
Absolutely.
It was so,
yeah. I think that they rushed 3 times, I think, the whole game.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was that. Like,
yeah,
the blitz defense was not there, and they're known for not blitzing their defense because of such a young defense. So
I think I think if you watch football regularly and you watch different teams, whether it's because you're a fan of the team or a lot of people watch different teams with different players because of fantasy football. I think the thing you could see coming was at all games this year for Kansas City were super close, pretty much. They had very few blowouts on a win side.
Right.
So what were they? 2 losses in the regular season, 15-2.
I
think it was 15-2, 14-3, whatever. I think they were 14-3 because I think they pretty much lost the last game this week.
That's right. They set the players.
You can kind of see it coming where it's like, you weren't blowing people out. I guess they could have easily either been 14-3. They also could have been 10-7.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, how many? I don't even know the stat. I think it was 17 one score games they've won in a row.
Yeah,
or something like that. It was kind of.
But that's a trademark of a champion. Champions win tight games.
Yep.
They got in the playoffs. They handled their business. They beat a really good Buffalo Bills team. Personally, one that I wanted to see in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
So,
let's jump into the fun part.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of
commercials.
I know a lot of people watch Super Bowl just for the commercials
and the halftime show, but that's a different beast in itself.
I will say off the bat, I do think it was a down year. So for commercials overall, I thought a couple of them were kind of weird. And of course, there's always the weird, funny, and the obvious funniness. We got 5 here, I believe. I'm gonna wait to say what my favorite one is till the end.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
I don't know if you have my favorite. We'll see if you have my favorite.
Okay.
But we'll see. Some of the jobs this year really are Uber Eats. Okay. The Uber Eats one, a century of cravings with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Gosh, that had us laughing from the start. It made, and I've seen like snippets of that where it makes it seem like football is invented just to make us hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They teased that during the regular season.
Yeah. And the celebrity cameos that came with it, Kevin Bacon, Martha Stewart, Greta Gerwig.
Absolutely.
Just top tier. It was definitely one of the top 5 commercials.
Absolutely. Hellman's.
Brad's favorite word is absolutely, guys, by the way.
Absolutely. Sometimes. On occasion.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's talk about nostalgia. Hellman's mayonnaise.
Yeah.
They came out with the When Harry Met Sally reunion. For those, there's going to be people listening to this podcast. If anyone's listening to this podcast, that won't even remember the movie. I mean, this is a classic '80s film with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan back together, recreating the iconic deli scene. They even threw in Sydney Sweeney for a modern twist. She's a new beautiful young actress. that's kind of coming up these last several years. Brilliant marketing move. I just knew what was going on because I knew the scene from the movie. Some of these commercials, I'm gonna go back and rewatch them on YouTube because we were at a friend's house and we kind of had the volume down because there was chitter chatter and stuff like that because obviously the game was kind of getting uninteresting to a degree. So I'm gonna go back and watch them, but that one was pretty good. So.
And I liked it. One of my other favorites was the Dunkin' Donuts one, Dunkin' Kings, where they brought back kind of the remake of the commercial from last year. I think it was last year they had the Dunkin' Kings commercial. With Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck, Bill Belichick. And then out of nowhere, Jeremy Strong comes in, right? And God, the man takes the method of acting very seriously. And now we see him emerging from a vat of coffee grounds. Gosh, that would have me rolling. And I thought it was also funny, like we all, and not everybody, but a lot of us drink Starbucks. Yeah. And that was their spinoff was the Starbucks, like everyone in like the green jumpsuits with like the little logo and the logo on the cup. Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a lawsuit for it somehow, some way, but
I hope not. I would think. I mean, I don't think. I'm guessing Starbucks still has the market versus Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know. I've never looked it up to be honest with you, but I think if I was Starbucks, have a sense of humor, please. Yeah, I think it was pretty darn funny. And you get stuff too. Coke and Pepsi are going back 4 years. Oh, I'm sure I doubt there's a lawsuit. Yeah. Speaking of Coke and Pepsi, one of Pepsi's products, Mountain Dew's Kiss of Lime was another fun one. Seal was an actual seal. Singing Kiss from a Rose. That was.
If you haven't seen it, you have to pull it up. Like
that was genius.
There's a seal on a rock, a literal seal, and then the head transforms into Seal's face. And he's singing.
The Becky G and their new mascot, the Mountain Dew, that was described as pretty much classic Super Bowl weirdness commercial. So I thought that one really stood out to people watching.
Yeah, and then there's the emotional one, the Pfizer put on the Fighting for Breakthroughs. I wasn't sure where that commercial was going to start. Yeah. But there's the young kid that's in the hospital, and they showcase him overcoming cancer as a little boxer, right? Yeah. He's wearing like boxing shorts, boxing gloves, and he's run down the street and everyone's cheering for him. And then Pfizer's goal is to have of 8 cancer breakthroughs by 2030. Yeah. So as a parent, very emotional, inspiring, impactful. It was definitely one that kind of hit home, right?
Yeah, that was the I don't think anybody in our room like teared up, but that would be the tearjerker. Yeah. I think we were caught up too. That was one of the commercials, like many others are, where you didn't know what the heck it was about. Right. Until you got close to the end. In fact, we would be guessing. I guessed that one. Oh. I'm like, I go fighting cancer. Yeah. It was close to the end though. I'm like, the way he was kind of running, things he was doing. It was probably like, it could have been probably more than 3 to 5 seconds before that commercial ended. I go, fighting cancer. And then it popped up and like, we should have bets on that.
I'm gonna throw out a couple more on here too that really caught my attention. The one was obviously I have 2 daughters, so it was the flag football, trying to make football a high school sport, right? For young women, but the fact that they beat up on their Brad. And I could just, all I thought about was Brad with a mullet. Like, I think that should be Brad's Halloween costume this year. The Brad.
I actually thought it was very funny. I would not be opposed to that as a Halloween costume, but I will not wear short shorts. Sorry, not doing it. Can't do it. It's a style for me. I know shorter shorts are coming back for men from the 80s. Let's please stop. Everybody, please stop. Don't need just that much leg for men.
I went to the side note, Saturday night, went to Headbangers Ball out in Kelly's Bleachers too, and listened to some 80s music, right? Mm-hmm. And I told Amy, my wife, I was like, hey, what should I wear? She's like, well, do you have any jeans? I was like, ooh, I could cut off a pair of short jeans and wear short, but it was cold. If it was 70 degrees up, there's a chance I could have worn.
Was there a theme that people outside the band were supposed to dress up?
No, but they definitely do.
It's something you would do. Yeah. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Any others stand out? There's a couple others I think are off here that I did get a chuck off. I need to go back and watch. Like I said, we were trying. I was actually funny. I was taking my restroom breaks during the game
No.
because I do like to see the commercials.
Yeah.
I think there are a few others out there, but all right. What was your favorite?
My favorite was the the football one where they beat up on Brad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not gonna lie, I don't know why I was just like, all right, this is kind of funny.
My favorite was there was another Matt Damon one. That's why I cannot remember the premise of it. Matt Damon, by the way, obviously a movie star.
Oh,
He is genius in commercials.
wait,
So,
is it the one with David Beckham?
yeah, they're
The
eating
soccer?
chicken wings. He's eating
Yeah.
chicken wings and soccer.
He's like, this is buffalo? No, it's chicken wings. It was just made in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear all of that one. That one I definitely need to go by watch. But what I heard, Matt Damon's great in commercials. He reminds me a lot of like that humor that Peyton Manning has in commercials. Freaking genius. So the Dunkin' Donut, the Dunkings, Dunkin' Donuts was my favorite 2 years in a row because I don't know. I thought it was a brilliant follow-up. I love the use of Bill Belichick's very young girlfriend. I thought that was pretty good. And then it was just a great follow-up. They even referenced Matt Damon refusing because the line last year was because, of course, Ben and Matt Damon were lifelong friends. And he says, remember I said I would do anything for you? This is anything.
Yeah.
Like, that was classic. So that was, to me, that was the best follow-up. That one stuck out in my head as my favorite. So
Awesome.
anyway.
Now, halftime show. Here's a controversy.
Yeah.
It's I thought there was a lot of cool things with the halftime show. I thought it was very patriotic. I thought it, and the choreography that went with it. I thought it was very well performed. But it is that music is a niche, right?
Yeah,
just like anything else. Like, if we're to put, Chris Stapleton up there from country, not everybody likes him.
Yeah, everybody likes country.
Not everybody likes, 80s hair bands, right? So the performance itself, I thought was very good. The hard thing with live performances inside stadiums like that, when we're watching it on TV, sometimes hard to hear and understand the words behind it. But I thought that, overall it wasn't horrible. Was it a top 5? No.
If you like the rap music genre, which I'm a fan of. It's one of my genres. I like pretty much all different types of music. I'm not a big opera guy, I'm just to be honest. And blues, I have to be in the right mood for. I think it's got to be the right setting. I mentioned that because, like Harry Connick Jr., he's a blues guy, and he did a song before the game.
Yep.
And it was, of course, it was New Orleans, very jazz, blues type of town. Harry Connick Jr., jazz, blues singer. That one didn't entertain me, but I enjoyed the Kendrick Lamar one because I do like rap music. Now, again, we didn't have the volume up the whole time, so could I hear everything the best? No. My wife actually went back and watched it when we got home on YouTube. I love the performance. I love the red, white, and blue. His dancers were either in these hood, head to toe, red, white, or blue outfits.
Like body suits, yeah.
I thought it was cool. At one point, they formed the American flag. More on the patriotism later, but I thought overall it was really, really good. So, and then speaking of I feel old now because he was, of course, joined by Za. I think is how it's pronounced.
I think so.
On stage, didn't know it was. Didn't recognize it. Did you catch one of the dancers towards the end? Who it was?
Mm-mm.
They didn't stay on her very long, but Vanessa Williams cameoed dancing.
Oh,
She was in I think it was, forgive me if I've got the color wrong. I think she was in purple.
okay.
She's in a purple top and then almost like a tennis skirt. And she was dancing and they cameoed her dancing on the field as part of the performance. I can't believe how many people didn't catch that. I said to the guys in the room, I said, one of the people just clicked off and they were like, who was that? I said, that was Serena Williams. I'm pretty sure. They panned back on her one more time. Yeah, that's Serena Williams.
Serena or Vanessa?
Serena.
Oh, I thought you said Vanessa Williams.
Sorry if I said Vanessa the first time.
Yeah.
No, Serena Williams. So I thought that was they really snuck her in. A lot of people were like there was I think 8 of us at a house watching the game, eating food, having fun. I think I was the only one that caught up with Serena Williams.
That's interesting.
So that was kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole performance energy in the stadium was been off the charts, right?
Yeah.
And the city of New Orleans proved once again that they know how to host a Super Bowl. They know how to host a just a week-long party.
I think that's the reason why. I mean, the Superdome itself, it stood the test of time. It's so amazing stadium. They've revamped it, kept the technology there, but I think the New Orleans atmosphere, the way that city is, it's a party city, it's an event city. I think they should never take that off the rotation.
No,
I don't know how big the rotation gets and all that kind of stuff, but they should always be in the rotation. Couple things before the game. I thought they went I need to be careful saying it, but they did several honors for like the victims of New Orleans on New Year's Day, the LA fires, the hurricanes. I'm gonna say this, great caution. I thought it was done beautifully. They did the one before the game where like Tom Brady and Strahan are walking and talking, and then Lady Gaga performs one of the classic songs from the Top Gun movie. I'm like, I want to turn Top Gun on after I saw it. I thought that was beautiful. And then they did some more inside the stadium. I thought they overdid the tributes a little bit. I mean, like I said, I'm saying that with great caution because super appropriate. Love that they did it. It felt almost for a little bit there. They should have maybe spread them out more. I think maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It just felt like constant,
too much all at once. Yeah.
Constant all at once.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was great. Like I said, they did also the first responders. They did a tribute to them. They were like out on the field right before the game. I thought that was cool. I think they should have spread that stuff out more. I think that would have helped.
Yeah. So, but I mean, what a night, what a game, what a season for the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs. It'll go down as one of the greatest moments in their franchise history. To be there. What were they there 2 years ago and lost? They were up by 10 and lost to Mahomes and the Chiefs. And then obviously we came back in with the chip on their shoulder and took care of business. So yeah.
And kudos to the Kansas City Chiefs. You could tell they were frustrated. They never gave up.
Nope.
I mean, they put those, and I don't think the Eagles lightened up. They just started going for stuff, getting points on the board. I thought that was pretty awesome. So kudos to both teams. Great seasons, obviously. We'll see what happens next year. Of course, now there'll be the talk of will Philadelphia repeat? We'll have to get ready for all the commercials next year. And now we're done with football season, and I guess we're on to March Madness.
March Madness, and then baseball season.
Yeah,
there we go. All right, hey, thanks for joining us today here on the Eagles Last podcast. I'm Vincent Devall, Coldwell banker, and the Eagle Homes team.
And I'm Brad Brewer. Thanks everybody. See you next week.
Have a great week, everyone. Bye.